Welcome on board with the September edition of the CSEE News, your place and time to get the latest construction and real estate trends in the Central and Southeast European countries. Today we will talk about Hungary. Hungary's high construction activity start in Q1 2022 was followed by a slowdown in Q2 2022. The EBI construction activity report has found that between this April and June, construction works started at a value of around 800 billion Hungarian forints. Although the value of projects entering construction decreased in Q2, these are not low numbers at all, as activity start has been the fifth highest on a quarterly basis of recent years. It should be added, though, that recently construction costs have dramatically increased, massively pushing up the activity start indicator calculated at current prices, while at constant prices the volume would be lower. In terms of building construction works, activity start rose in Q2 2022. The value of started construction works in the segment exceeded Q1 2022 and counted for more than 560 billion Hungarian forint. The second highest level in recent years, after the period between April and June 2021. It is also true here that activity start calculated at current prices has significantly increased due to the hike in construction costs in recent years. Within building construction works, Q2 2022 brought a massive drop in residential buildings. At the same time, non-residential buildings had a major expansion with activity start indicator going up to over 500 billion Hungarian forints between April and June 2022, the second highest after Q2 2021. Multi-unit residential buildings started to be built on a less than 60 billion Hungarian forints in Q2 2022, the lowest value since 2016, excluding H2 2020. Construction costs have greatly increased since then. That is, at constant prices, this means a much smaller construction volume. Compared to Q1, the decline in activity start was around 40%, but compared to Q2 2021, there was a much smaller fallback, around only 18%. On a positive note, the preferential 5% VAT applicable to new home purchases has been extended until the end of 2024, so developers don't have to rush to obtain building permits until the end of this year. Another change is that the introduction of stricter energy regulations, originally effective from 1st of July 2022, occupancy permits are not to be issued for dwellings with an energy rating lower than BB, has also been postponed by 2 years. However, a new administrative burden has been introduced in case of buildings larger than 5,000 square meters and in case of new multi-unit residential buildings with a total useful floor area of more than 105,000 square meters on one building plot and consisting of at least 6 dwellings. The National Architectural Planning Council, led by the chief architect, will have a veto right. Concerning the residential asset class, after a low point in July, real estate market turnover strengthened in the last month of the summer, according to Duna House estimates. The real estate group estimates that the number of residential property transactions totaled 9,748 in August 2022, which is an increase of more than 8% compared to the previous month, but still 14% lower than the same period last year. We continue with the commercial asset class in Hungary. Office vacancy reaches 9.9% in Bucharest, which is obviously very low. The lowest vacancy was registered in North Buda with a 4.4% rate, whereas the highest rate remained in the periphery submarket, 31.4%. Net absorption has remained positive by the end of the second quarter, amounting to 33,720 square meters, Budapest Research Forum reports. Total demand reached 108,020 square meters in Q2 2022, representing a 10.2% increase year on year. New leases stood for the largest share of total leasing activity with 32%, followed by lease renewals in the existing stock with 27%. Expansions of existing premises reached 10%. Pre-leases in new developments reached 4%, while the share of owner-occupied buildings was 26% of the total demand. According to BRF, 144 lease agreements were concluded in Q2 2022, and the average deal size amounted to 750 square meters. The BRF registered 7 transactions concluded on more than 2,000 square meters of office space, including 2 renewals, 3 new leases, 1 occupation, and 1 expansion. Compared to the previous quarter of the year, the percentage of new handovers decreased in Q2 as a lot of handovers passed to Q3. Demand was strong and the percentage of closed transactions increased by 26%. As in the previous quarter, new leases were able to achieve a higher proportion of total demand than renewals. Concerning the industrial asset class in Hungary, 17 leasing transactions in Greater Budapest were recorded in Q2 2022 with an average transaction size of 6,620 square meters. 4 of them were signed for more than 10,000 square meters. The majority of the leases were still signed in big box logistic parks. The largest transaction in the quarter was a lease renewal amounting to 22,180 square meters in Prologis Park, Budapest, Ghiau, while the largest transaction in the take-up was a pre-lease, 21,500 square meters in GLP Giget Logistic Center. The vacancy rate at the end of Q2 2022 stood at 6.4% in Greater Budapest. In regional Hungary, there was 75,310 square meters of vacant space, which equals 5.5 vacancy rate, which is really very low. These were our news on Hungary. You can watch all news emissions on all CEE countries, which are broadcast by PropTech Bulgaria in September on our web platform cproptech.eu. See you soon. Bye. PropTech Bulgaria has very good news to share with you today. Following our latest calculations, our database with European PropTech companies reaches 4,140 companies. Our extended database reaches over 5,200 companies in Europe. You can have access to all these data and analytics based on such a large database. Only to mention that 4,140 companies equal to 91% of all PropTech companies existing in Europe, which originate in Europe. So, one way to have access to this information is through our annual report 2022 European PropTech Report, 30 countries in numbers. You can get information about the PropTech profile of each of these 30 countries and decide either how to expand your operations if you're a PropTech company, or where to look for a particular type of PropTechs if you are a property developer. Of course, you can also have a customer tailored analysis on specific market niches. You can just imagine any niche you need information about, whether it is energy tech, invest and finance PropTechs, PropTechs for the retail asset class, for industrial asset class, AEC PropTechs for architects, construction engineers, and designers. PropTechs which classify as construction technology companies, contact companies, visualization PropTechs, PropTechs for real estate agencies. You can name really any type of PropTechs you want to have information about and the best players in Europe. Only contact us directly and see more information on our web platforms proptechbulgaria.eu or cproptech.eu. Talk soon.